DATV, and the Greater Dayton Area League of Women Voters present Meet the Candidates, your chance to learn about the candidates running for office in the November election.
Hello, I'm Patty Skilkin. I'm president of the League of Women Voters of the Greater Dayton Area, and I'm talking today to one of the 5 candidates who are running for 2 positions for the Trotwood City Council at large. The 5 candidates are Rhonda Finley, Robert Kelley, Bruce Kettelle, who's here with us, Mark Landis, and Barbara Staggs. The other 4 candidates unfortunately had commitments and could not be here, so we're just going to be talking to Bruce today. Bruce, hello.
Good afternoon.
Tell us a little bit about your background. What makes you want to be Trotwood City Council at large?
Well, I'm on City Council now, and
you'd like to stay there.
As an incumbent, I feel like we've been doing great things for our city, but there's more that we can do, and I want a chance to do that. I want to keep moving Trotwood forward, and you know, we have to be really focused on our future, and that's where we've been really trying to take the city in a slightly different direction, getting us back on track where we need to be.
Let me ask you something. If there were a resident or even a business that was considering Trotwood, how would you sell Trotwood to them?
How do you describe Trotwood? Trotwood actually is a really comfortable, nice, rural mix of rural and urban suburban community. It's mostly a bedroom community. Most of our residents don't work in town. They commute to jobs here in Dayton or other areas where there's manufacturing but that has its downfalls too. And when the economy took a big turn back in 1999, when GM started downsizing, Trotwood was hit a little bit harder than other areas because a larger percentage of our community actually had jobs at GM or their subsidiaries. So we've been struggling with a high unemployment rate, stagnant home values, and things that make it challenging to balance your city budget. So in the process of doing that, we've had to make some cuts. We've streamlined a lot of our services, but we're keeping the budget balanced, and that's what's important. And we're doing that without raising taxes.
What are the biggest challenges? Obviously, everybody's been challenged the last 7 or 8 years. What are the biggest challenges facing City Council and Trotwood government right now?
I think one of the biggest challenges that our community sees is the loss of retail on Salem Avenue.
The Salem Mall?
The Salem Mall is one key ingredient to that, and Consumer Square essentially sits empty these days. The Salem Mall, of course, is gone. But we're trying to reinvent the whole Salem corridor, and by reinventing, we're allowing different types of businesses to come into some of those big vacant buildings. What you may or may not know is that the former Kmart has recently been purchased by a light manufacturing company, and they're going to be creating jobs in that building. The former Elder Bowman furniture store, a Dayton business, needed to expand, and they got a great deal in that building, bringing 55 new jobs to our community. So those are good paying jobs, and it's a good start. We have more to do, but we are trying to attract more of a balance, not just retail like we were, because we were so dependent on retail. When the retail sector crashed so hard, it had a big impact on us. So as we rebuild, if we can have a balance of retail, light industrial, office use, that's our goal now, and to have a stronger balance of businesses in Trotwood.
How does food fit into this equation? Restaurants, grocery stores, are you happy with the way things are? Does it need improvement?
They're all part of that. We lost the Cub food store on Salem Avenue, and that's left a food desert in that portion of town. We still have Food Town. They've been there since the 1960s, and they've stuck it out. We've been trying to attract someone back into the former Cub food space, but it's a challenge. We've got a lot of empty homes in Trotwood. That reduces our overall spending power, and that's probably the biggest challenge for any retailer, whether it be a clothing store, a grocery store, or even a restaurant, is having enough viable customers to keep them in business. And the residents that are there desperately want those features, but there's not as many of us as there used to be, so it's hard to support that many of them with the vacancies that we are seeing, which leads to a housing discussion, if you want to go straight to that.
Let's go straight to that. It sounds like you need to grow the population to support the businesses, to get the businesses to come so the population can shop there.
It's a big circle, and it's comprehensive. So 4 years ago when I got elected, I came to our council and I said, we've been spending a lot of time and money trying to attract businesses. Maybe we need to refocus a little bit and consider how we can fill these vacant homes. If we can create the dynamic of more customers in our town, the businesses will follow that. And so we have tackled trying to stabilize our neighborhoods. One of the projects is called Trotwood Now. We're actually purchasing homes that have been vacant and are tax delinquent. We're getting them rehabbed and putting them back on the market to allow them to be occupied again. This has just started. It took a while to get that program up and running. As you know, in government, things work slow. But this year, we introduced our first home that has been rehabbed on the market. We have 14 more in process. We have a goal to have a total of 20 homes somewhere in the process by the end of this year. But we're focusing on some of our neighborhoods that are just at that tipping point to try to keep them from going the wrong way. And it seems to be working, and the real estate industry has been a partner in this. The rehab industry has been a partner in this. It seems to be a very good project, and it seems to be paying dividends by stabilizing home values already.
I realize that the purpose is to bring population and to stabilize neighborhoods, but is this also possibly a revenue source for Trotwood? Do you buy them cheap and sell them a little bit profitably?
Absolutely, and some of the investors that are coming in see that, and that's why they're involved in it. But it's also providing home prices that are a little below the area average. And once these are rehabbed, it's like buying a house that's got all new roof, all new appliances.
Brand new house.
So you have nothing to worry about for at least 10 years or more.
Sure.
So it's a good deal for the home buyer, and the monthly payments are really low because of the prices.
What's your pet project? What keeps you awake at night thinking about what you'd like to do with or for Trotwood?
I like trying to create more sense of place in Trotwood. I mean, I work on the bigger picture things all the time, but I like to address things that we can do with our park system, things that we can do to make Trotwood more pedestrian friendly, things that we can do to make our business corridors more attractive. One project that I got involved with when I was first on council back in the 90s was looking at ways to erase an eyesore on Main Street, which was the old trailer park, which you may remember having.
I do remember it.
We were finally successful in acquiring that land, and we've transformed it into a city park. So when you drive by there, you don't see all these 55 and 70-year-old trailers. It's an open space.
Rusting.
And right. And now it's right along the banks of the confluence of Wolf Creek and the North Branch. Mm-hmm. So it has a water aspect to it. But that's right in the heart of that Main Street corridor. In conjunction with that, we've upgraded signage along that corridor, added landscaping, improved some of the sidewalks, added some parking. We reclaimed the former Broadmoor Elementary School as a soccer field for the Say Soccer program. And all of that combined has really changed the look and feel of Main Street. And we've seen a lot more of our empty spaces, our retail spaces on Main Street start to be filled now. And that's an encouraging sign, and to show that those kinds of efforts can make a difference and actually show positive results.
Our timer's waving at me. If you'd like another couple minutes to speak to the voter, that's fine. But are you interested in that, or you feel you've had your...
You know, I really appreciate the viewers sticking with us for these 15 minutes. It's a little hard to entertain just with one person. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you'll go to my webpage on Facebook, Friends of Bruce Kettelle, where you can learn a lot more and be part of the solution, and come to our council meetings, contribute, call me anytime. We want to hear your ideas.
Thank you, Bruce. I've been talking to Bruce Kettelle, who is one of 5 candidates running for 2 positions on Trotwood City Council at-large positions. I'll mention again the other 4 candidates who were not able to be here are Rhonda Finley, Robert Kelley, Mark Landis, and Barbara Staggs. I want to remind our viewers that November 3rd is Election Day. Please vote. It's a right, it's a privilege, and it's a duty. If you have questions about anything concerning your polling place, identification needs, whatever, call the league office. We'll be maintaining a hotline for several weeks before the election, 228-4041. We can answer your questions. It would be highly unusual if we couldn't. You could also check out our website, which is lwvdayton.org. And by all means, be watching for our voter's guide. I think it's going to be available the week of October 5th. We're famous for it. It has a lot of information that will help you before you cast your votes. And thank you for viewing.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.